I said, yo, me like got me up. I want to live be live, but I swear it's not easy. I've been rapping my own man, I'm getting the market with doing, I'm bringing the profit. On my way, people calling me names, all the trouble I see, I do at the peace. When those suffering, those sources, I can't pay the code, only how I get paid. Sooner or later, my hustle pay. Let pay, and I'm rushing myself. Keep it cool, everything have a CC. Too much rushing, I probably chasing. One day. I feel it good. One day, my
hustle gonna pay one day. Any mistake gonna see my face. Me pa know and I watching it. One day, success gonna come my way. I know my hustle gonna pay one day. Any mistake gonna see my face. Me pa know and I watching it. One day, success gonna come my way. Yeah. My mama was so worried. My papa was so worried. My friend would give you money. Any mess that would come on that knees. So I on my way. 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 I'm on my way to this place and I'm looking for money. Looking for money, oh. Looking for money. I want to make mama happy. Want make papa happy. Want make all my brothers and sisters to come around me.
Yeah, Capilico, why you know you hustle? Why saying the book by the Genesis? Shall come at the price, shall come at the power. I feel every working on Wednesday. In my love for the ma, in my love for the ma. All in the dark, all in the week, all in the sun.
My mama was so worried.
No for air.
My papa was so worried. My friend would give you money. Any mess that would come on that knees. So I on my way. 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 I on my way.
Armando, you are a famous star now. So what do you have to say to the audience out there?
Okay, well, to the audience out there, I want to say keep focused, believe in your hustle, and one day you're going to pay. And I also want to say that a big thanks to my mom, who always been there for me during my struggle. Mommy, I love you, and I'm coming back soon.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. We woke up this morning to a cool 58 degrees in Providence, Rhode Island. But don't let that fool you. It's cloudy right now, but the sun is coming up. Today is going to be a nice sunny day. It's going to be 78 for highs. Take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. On the sports side, we woke up this morning to 1-1. Celtics 1, Golden State Warriors 1. We look forward to game 3 on Wednesday in Boston. So it is 1-1, the series, the finals, 1-1 so far. Game 3 will tell us who's going to take the lead. Take heed and govern yourselves. Enjoy the game. The finals are on. My topics for this morning are 1. Now that Alexander Cummings' forgery and criminal conspiracy case is dropped. What's next? 2. Liberian community member is the candidate for Rhode Island State Secretary of State. Liberian Secretary of State. 3. My Buduburam refugee camp Liberian community in Ghana. Let me take a coffee break and I'll come back and we'll start my first topic. So we see on Friday, the Liberian Solicitor General came out and announced that the case against Alexander Cummings, the standard bearer of the Alternative National Congress, the ANC, who has been in court for the past 5 months on a bogus charge of forgery and criminal conspiracy. The case has been dropped. Finally. What did I tell you all from the beginning? From the very first instance that this case was filed, I told you there was a political case. It has no place in the courts of Liberia. Now, the Solicitor General, Serena Sifas, come up with some of the bogus, useless excuse talking about the case was dropped because of the Supreme Court decision last week, claiming that the case against the Unity Party by ANC or the CPP, the Alex Cummings' group and Liberty Party together, filed a case at the National Election Commission to bar Unity Party, Boycott's party, for participating in the forthcoming local senatorial election and the general election in 2023. They went through the election commission. The election commission found it for CPP, but they refused to address the constitutional issue that was raised during the case as to the constitutionality of the framework document versus section 8.5 of the CPP framework document, barring Unity Party and Liberty Party from participating in any forthcoming election because they withdrew from the party. Now, the Supreme Court looked at the case, at the constitutional issue, one, which was the contract between the two parties. Was it a viable contract? Can you sign a contract to bar another party from participating in the electoral process? That was one of them. And secondly, was the framework document itself, whether Boycott could field a candidate in the forthcoming election. And the Supreme Court said that the agreement between the parties of the CPP was unconstitutional. Anything that barred them from participating in the election or voting or do anything under that clause was unconstitutional. So as it relates to the contract, the relationship between the two parties, it was null and void. And so the court threw it out. And so Rina Sifas is saying that the Solicitor General of the Republic of Liberia is saying that because the Supreme Court threw that case out, he is also dropping the case of forgery and criminal conspiracy against Elliot Cummings in the lower court. My question was, what does the lower court case has to do with the case that was in the Supreme Court? There are two different cases. The case in the Supreme Court is on a constitutional question, whether the Constitution will allow this to happen or not, for parties to form contractual agreement barring each other from participating in the electoral process if they do not agree with each other. What does that have to do with the forgery case against Elliot Cummings? It has nothing to do with that. But it just goes to further demonstrate that the Solicitor General is so incompetent and useless that he has failed his duties. And this case is a bogus case. 5 months for a case with no evidence, with no leads, nothing. How do you get out of it? He's been waiting to find a way to get out of it. Now the Supreme Court case of the unconstitutionality of trying to stop Buduburam from participating in the election has given the Solicitor General the opportunity now to come out and talk about Buduburam's testimony, how in one instance Buduburam talked about using resign as a part of the framework documents context when the actual document spoke about withdrawal. So our argument was so foolish and incomprehensive and useless, I didn't want to read through it. Because you would tell that the Solicitor General was looking for an excuse to get out of this bogus, useless trial that he had put the Liberian people in, costing us a lot of time, money, and patience. This is incompetence. Pure incompetence. You bring a case against a man without any evidence, without a scintilla of evidence. You bring a case against the man. Now you want, after keeping us in court for 5 months on a petty charge, you come and use some bogus excuse to drop the charge. And these are the expenses. This is why our people are suffering. You got all these people trying to prove that they can do things and they can't do it. Then in the end, we bear the burden, the financial burden especially. This is hurtful. It's hurtful to the Liberian people, to our poor people who's struggling for life and survival. Then our government officials trying to please their own ego and idiosyncrasies and trying to bring cases against people using our money and our time. This is not right. It is not right. Okay? Now, Elliot Cummings is a free man. After 5 months of bullshit, he comes and drops the case. He drops the case because he knew there was no way you could, there was no evidence. This case was a political case. You know, people, grown men in a political party can't decide their own direction. You want a court to decide it for you? That's bullshit. That case should have been thrown out by the judge. But here we are. We got a leadership of incompetence. We got a leadership of idiots. We got a leadership of dummies. What can you expect? Miracles. It can't happen. Here we are. What's next? Now they couldn't get rid of Elliot Cummings. ANC has already, UP, United Party has already started forming a new coalition with different groups. So ANC is on its own now. Because I don't know what happened with Ability Liberty Party and Conga. and what her name, Nombli Kanga group. We don't know what happened with it. They're supposed to meet. They were supposed to meet on Friday, so the judge could harmonize everything and find a solution to this debacle. But all of this just demonstrates that Liberia has no leaders. All of this demonstrates that whoever will put it in power is like throwing the dice. We don't know whether they will succeed or not because there is no real track record, not even of Boca successes. None. So we have no real leaders of records that we can say, oh, this man got record we can look to and prove that this man did this, that or this man is competent to do so. So there's no record. So we have no real leaders. It's a trial and error situation. With the good Lord be with my people and my country. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. You know, using me delving any further into this debacle. It's failed. It's failed. It's failed. It's failed. But let's just look to the Lord for guidance and direction in saving the West African Republic of Liberia. Now, class is done on this topic. Can we take a break? And I'll come back and we'll talk about more. On yesterday, I had the opportunity of meeting Mr. Anthony Tamba. He is a long-time member of the Liberian community of Rhode Island. And this man is highly educated, has 2 masters and a number of bachelors and a certificate from Harvard University, Harvard University, and all of that, man. And I sat with him and we had a nice chat yesterday. And he explained to me his desire to run for Secretary of State of the state of Rhode Island. And I think Mr. Tama is very competent. He's highly qualified. And if he liked it, he will make a good Secretary of State for Rhode Island. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce Mr. Anthony Tama to the Liberian community. I would also like to introduce him to my young Americans, white and black, young Americans, because I know you people will understand that it is time for us to make our society a more diverse society, a more progressive society. And the only way this can happen if it will begin to test the waters with people of various communities who are qualified and want to step to the plate to help to lead this great state to a better state of existence. So I introduce Mr. Anthony Tamba to you, my young Americans. And I ask that you go to his website, tambaforsos.com, and check out his ideals and his stream, and see where you can fit in and give him a call. He needs your support. He needs the strength of the community. So please let's rally around this man and make it possible for one man, one African who is qualified and competent to serve this state to the best of his abilities. So I leave you with the website and the opportunity to go there and support Mr. Tama. I ask you to support Mr. Tama because he is not only because he is a member of our community, but because he's a qualified professional man. And I'm sure he will bring a lot of wealth and knowledge and profession to the job of the Secretary of State of Rhode Island if given this opportunity. So, ladies and gentlemen out there, I ask you to please support this brother. This brother is progressive. He's mature. He's the man for the job. Give him your utmost support and rally around him. Let him win. I thank you. I know over the weekend there was a terrible rainstorm in Ghana. I spoke with my CEO on the camp there. He told me how terrible the rain was, especially yesterday too. I spoke with him this morning as he was on his way to work, and he was showing me the area and how the rain had wreaked havoc in that area. And please bear with me. Let me just get some of this brightness on my some contrast to my thing. Yeah, let me see how it is. Yeah, he was on his way to school, and he was just giving me a look at the area and how the rain had wreaked havoc in the area. So I hope they be all going to school today. Let me call them and let's keep in touch with our people live as I do my show. Let me see if my CEO is around and what they're doing on the camp. I wasn't able to check on them in school this morning because I was so busy doing some other things. So let me just see if they're on.
Good morning, good morning.
Hey, CEO, how you doing?
I'm left just good this morning.
How did school go on?
I got my weather too cool. I went too cool this morning. My weather good.
The weather cool?
Yeah, cool. No sunshine. It's just cool.
It's just cool. Okay. You got class going on?
Yeah. Yeah. Let me enter the classroom to see why you're turning green. But if we get around, you're going to rain it if you get around. The weather also bad.
Oh, the teacher just arrived. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello?
What did you want to do? What did they baking today?
No making today. That's already.
Oh, tea already?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I see evidence. Okay, record it. Let's learn some of the theory, okay?
Okay.
Wow, they're all in class. They're all in class. They're all in class. They're all in class. The teacher is there. You hear me? And they're all in class this morning.
Everybody in class. Good morning. Yeah, probably have money. Want to see you. Hello. You want live? Stay rolling. Why you gonna pay the money? Why you lie?
You got nothing to say. But hey,
Yeah. Say something. Listen to you. Oh, I'm watching you. Yeah.
okay, Roland.
Yeah.
Roland, record the class so we can play it later, okay? Okay. Say hi to the teacher, Amy. I'll talk to you later. Okay then. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm people on the Buduburam refugee camp. You know, they're in school right now. This morning they are doing theory. So he's going to record it, and by tomorrow you have a video to watch and see what kind of teaching went on today. possibly by the help of God. Okay, so that's my segment on the Buduburam camp. Now let me take a break now and give you a special show of Liberian Rhode Islanders playing soccer before we end. Okay.
Good morning. My name is Mohammed Kene, Secretary General of the Rhode Island Old Timers Association. Today is Saturday. We are here for practice. The Old Timer organization has been in existence in Rhode Island since the 70s. I cannot be precise with the year, but we've been here for many decades. And in short, what we do is to keep the older folks in the community together through sports, soccer to be precise. So as usual, we meet here Saturdays and Sundays. We play, we keep the community, members engaged. We undertake activities. We identify with members. In terms of financial and other contributions. Sometimes when the need arises. Usually we play games during the summer, from May down to September. We play around the New England area. We play games in Boston, in Brockton, in Worcester. We just came from Worcester last week. We play against the Worcester Sports Association, and we will be partaking in all Liberians festival, sportive festival this August coming in Staten Island. That will be the I believe the states that carries Liberians organization will all meet in Staten Island to partake in a festival. So yeah, we play games around here. As we speak, there's preparation going on to play against some Nigerians Old Timers team around here. So yeah, we play games all over the place. Yes. In fact, some members of the Old Timers are officials of the Liberian Association here. So yes, we are affiliated with the Liberian Association. We are always engaged with the leadership, and anytime the need arises, anytime there is contribution or any events, they always reach out to us, and then we are always part of whatever projects or events that they undertake. So yes, we are always in contact with the Liberian Association. In short, this organization belongs to everybody. It's not only limited to Liberians, but mostly majority is Liberians, but not limited to Liberians. What we do, like I said, we play sports to keep, first reason is to keep ourselves, fit, and secondly to be there for one another. So in short, we want to send this as a caveat or to welcome whosoever men in the community, both here in Rhode Island or in the surrounding communities that want to be part of the organization. You are welcome. We undertake projects sometimes in Liberia. Like last year, we sent some members, some officials in Liberia. They carry on some projects, some community initiatives, and it was very good. So yes, the organization is open to everybody. and we want to welcome everybody who wants to be a part.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Hi, I'm a former member of player of the Rhode Island Old Timers Association. My name is William Randolph. These guys need to condition themselves more than just kicking the ball. Kicking the ball is not what it is. It's not conditioned. That's why they got beat 3-0 last weekend in Worcester, because they are not in shape. They need to know. They've been playing soccer all their life. They know it's more than just kicking the ball. They got to get back to the basics. If they get back to the basics, they'll win more games. But I'm telling them, they got a lot of rude awakenings coming for them this season.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Tony Commander, J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson. I'm at the field behind the Cadillac, the old Cadillac car dealership, which is now a Chinese supermarket. This is the field where members of the Liberian community play soccer, or as we call it, football. I'm here today with the old-timers football team of the Liberian community. We have just interviewed the Secretary General, who you heard, and now we are just taking a bird's eye view at Liberians as they warm up this Saturday morning. Okay, stay tuned with us, please.
Watch the ball.